Something or Other tour. We're in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamodome. We are here for a special event, one night only, the San Antonio Spurs back home in the Dome. We talking Alamodome here. The Spurs as a franchise turned 50 years old this year. So to celebrate their 50th anniversary, they're doing a handful of special event games. One of them being tonight. Spurs' current home arena is AT&T Center, but for about a decade, it used to be the Alamodome. They haven't played here since 2002, so there's one more special game to celebrate the 50th anniversary back home at the Alamodome. As soon as the event was announced, I was like, well, that settles it. I guess I'll be there. Just so happens they're playing our Golden State Warriors. So I bought tickets the day they went on sale to come here to San Antonio to the Alamodome.
Alamodome? I thought it was Alamode. Are we getting pie and ice cream?
No, we're going to a basketball game. Although Steph Curry may be serving it up Alamode anyways. Tonight, the attendance record for an NBA game could be broken. Since I'm cloned, we count as two. We're doing our part. What are we talking? What are we talking there? The Alamodome. You kidding me? You kidding me?
Yeah, have fun.
Thank you. Let's go. My first look at the Alamodome, dude. Oh my God. For the first time in 20 years, NBA fans are back in the Alamodome. As a kid watching games on TV, I was fascinated by the Alamodome. How could you not be with all the fiesta colors adorning the walls, the banners, the court, the giant mysterious curtain, and just how big the place was? Oh my God. This is crazy. It's so cool. I can't believe this. I never thought I'd see NBA in the Alamodome again. Well, not again. Like, I never saw it in the first place, but you know what I mean. Fucking Alamodome. What's interesting is this is a little different setup. They're trying to break the attendance record, so they needed all the seats available. But back in the day, that court would have been pushed all the way to the end, bleachers about halfway through, and then a curtain to cover the second half of the stadium, because this stadium was built to accommodate football, conventions, all kinds of stuff, and it just so happened to be at the same time that the Spurs needed a venue. Oh, this is so The Alamodome was built to help launch San Antonio into a sports destination city and draw traffic to the surrounding convention center and attractions. They had hoped to lure an NFL franchise, which never panned out. Early on, it was decided that it would at least be an upgrade for the Spurs, and they moved in, leaving behind their first home, the Hemisphere Arena. Look at these seats way up at the top. I had to come see the very tippy top of the Alamodome. We're up here.
We're up there, man. Get your workout.
This place is a monstrosity, and I love it. This is crazy. There's people up there. I want to get up there. Anyways, I had to come to the very tippy top over here, tippy top corner. We have decent seats actually tonight. This is incredible. Can you believe this? It's nuts. Our seats are so low, we won't be able to see anyone over everyone's heads. Because the court's in the middle of what should be a football field, we're really far away from it despite being row 8. Tonight, we're all attempting to break the record for the highest attendance ever for an NBA game. I kind of wish I could see the whole setup with the curtain. As soon as I saw this event and announced, I was like, gotta be there. soon as it happened to be against the Warriors, I would have been here anyway.
Before they were the Spurs, they were the Dallas Chaparrals of the ABA.
They changed the name to the Texas Chaparrals and started sort of barnstorming around Texas and playing games all over Texas.
They struggled on the court and with finding a fan base. They were eventually sold to a group from San Antonio who rebranded the franchise and moved them into the Hemisphere Arena in 1973.
They had the Iceman George Gervin.
Their first game was a loss against the San Diego Conquistadors, which we talked about in our San Diego Sports Arena video. But fairly quickly, the San Antonio Spurs were embraced by the city and crowds started showing up. Eventually in 1976, the NBA and the ABA merged, and the Spurs were one of the 4 teams to be admitted into the NBA due to their fan base and their potential. They had some early success with George Gervin into the 80s, and then they hit rock bottom for many years. There was a chance the Spurs could relocate to a different city because attendance was low and excitement around the team was low.
But that all started to change in the late 80s. They drafted David Robinson.
Unfortunately for them, Robinson was in the Navy and still had to serve out a 2-year commitment before he could finally join the team in 1989.
The Spurs were successful almost immediately. Had one of the biggest turnarounds of all time.
Fans started showing up, the city was energized, and they wanted a new arena to play in. But that wasn't to happen just yet. Instead, they ended up in this giant cavernous stadium.
Let's go! Warriors! So the Alamodome was state of the art. It just wasn't built strictly for basketball. So they just happened to be building it around the same time that the Spurs were looking to upgrade from the Hemisphere Arena. This was a good fit because the stadium was already going to be built and they didn't have an NFL team to occupy it. So they played here from 93 to about 2002 until they built where they play now, the AT&T Center. When I was a kid watching Spurs games, I always thought this place was really cool. Mostly because of that big curtain that's not up today. I didn't know what the curtain actually was back in the day though. This is before the internet. You couldn't just look that up. So they played here for a decade through all the classic David Robinson years, and they ended up winning a championship in 1999 while they played in this building against the New York Knicks. So while it's only 10 years of history in here, it was some awesome history, especially for Spurs fans. So being back home at the Dome is very meaningful, especially to kids who came here when they were kids and now they're adults and they miss this place. I talk about it in all the episodes, how much I miss Oracle Arena, how much people miss Arco Arena. So many of you left comments on that video about how much you miss it and all the amazing memories you had in that arena. So these places mean a lot. The moments here, the experiences here mean a lot to people. So I'm glad I get to finally have my one and only experience at the Alamodome. That video is exactly all the stuff I'm always talking about in my sports videos, how much these places mean. Like, I'm getting emotional. I'm not a Spurs fan, I've never been here. Key observers may notice I'm wearing a Sean Kemp All-Star jersey. It was from the 96 All-Star game, and it was played right here in the Alamodome. David Robinson and Sean Elliott were representing the Spurs.
The rosters were filled with some of my favorite players ever. Michael Jordan, who ended up winning the MVP, Sean Kemp, of course, Shaquille O'Neal, who dominated, Penny Hardaway, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, it's gotta be my favorite All-Star game of all time. And if you're wondering, no Golden State Warriors played in that game. Otherwise, I'd have their jersey. I recorded the 1996 All-Star game on VHS, and I used to watch it back all the time. Every moment from that game was iconic to me as a kid. That's why I had to wear this jersey. And you can't forget that these jerseys were fire. I wish they still did creative, city-specific jerseys like this for the All-Star games.
And another little Easter egg, when I did the Oracle Arena backstage tour, you guys remember that episode, right? I hope you do. I was wearing black Penny ones. Penny Hardaway wore those exact shoes at the 96 All-Star game right here. So it all comes together, full circle.
Presenting the living flag are Spurs.
to say, as a lifelong diehard Golden State Warriors fan, the San Antonio Spurs have been a conference rival that spent decades kicking us around. But I will happily admit the San Antonio fan base is one of the best in all of sports.
Warriors are having an up and down season. A lot of struggles, a lot of injuries. The Spurs are having a terrible season. It is a crime against sports in general that the Warriors are not wearing their 90s throwbacks right now.
The Dallas Cowboys have held training camps here for many years off and on. The Saints played 3 regular season games here, the first NFL games in the stadium's history, when Hurricane Katrina displaced them from the New Orleans Superdome.
And the Saints playing here was a huge success. Tons of fans showed up. This place was packed and rowdy. So they're hoping maybe that would also show that San Antonio was ready for an NFL team.
When Mark Davis started exploring the option of relocating the Raiders from Oakland, San Antonio was on his short list.
They did have discussions, they had talks. I think they even came out here, and ultimately they settled on Las Vegas.
Would have been an interesting connection, because when the Texas Chaparrals were rebranded to the Spurs, they chose their silver and black color scheme because the GM, Jack Ankerson, was a fan of the Oakland Raiders. The Canadian Football League tried to expand to the United States, and it chose San Antonio as a destination in the early 90s. The San Antonio Texans took the field at the Alamodome, which was big enough to accommodate the CFL's larger playing field. While they haven't ever landed an NFL team, various alternate leagues have been here. The short-lived Alliance of American Football's San Antonio Commanders played here.
You guys may remember we did a video at an AAF game in San Diego right before the league shut down.
At the long-gone Qualcomm, aka Jack Murphy Stadium, and parts of it were even used in a documentary about the failed league. So many of the teams that played here are long gone, but football is still being played in the Dome. The XFL San Antonio Brahmas, coached by Hines Ward, and the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners both call this place home.
One thing I would have loved to have seen is the Texas Rangers actually played some games here. There were only exhibition games to end spring training.
The stadium can't host a regular season baseball game because the right field wall is only 272 feet, well below the 325-foot requirement of Major League Baseball. There's been so many other sporting events, including the NCAA Final Four. Jordan Poole, who's on the floor now, played in that tournament.
In addition to that, tons of concerts. Bad Bunny was just here, Britney Spears, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Pink Floyd. Cool little tidbit is in the biopic Selena, where she was played by Jennifer Lopez. They filmed some scenes in here. It doubled as the Astrodome in Houston, where she had a very big, very famous show. There's been multiple WWE Royal Rumbles here. In 1997, San Antonio native Shawn Michaels won the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin won the Rumble itself. After many years, WWE returned to the Alamodome this year for another Royal Rumble.
Dubs are up by like 30 points. I can't partake. San Francisco does not do the wave. That's an Oakland and LA thing. Avery Johnson! Side of principle, can't do it. First NBA basketball here in 20 years. Last couple minutes. Maybe forever. I'm so glad I got to go. ended up being a blowout. Last 9.6 seconds. This was so fun. So fun. Back home at the Dome. 20 years. How cool. Hope the Spurs fans enjoyed it. I know the game wasn't very fun. But I hope the memories were fun.
The Spurs didn't have a long history here, but it was a memorable one. From David Robinson's quadruple-double to Sean Elliott's legendary game winner to Dennis Rodman grabbing rebounds and causing a scene with his iconic colored hair.
This is where Michael Jordan won the All-Star Game MVP. I mean, come on. Like I said, I know exactly how it feels to lose the venues you grew up with. I miss Candlestick and Oracle Arena every day.
They won the franchise's first championship while playing in the Alamodome, which kicked off 2 decades of dominance.
People that were at the NBA Finals celebrating here with the Spurs when they brought the trophy back. So cool.
Every NBA legend from the 1990s had to battle it out here. David Robinson won an MVP award, and Tim Duncan started his Hall of Fame career right here at the Alamodome. 2 of my favorite coaches of all time called this court home, Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr when he was a player.
I got a chance to wear my Sean Kemp 96 All-Star Game jersey in the arena that he was wearing it in, you know?
So many kids, so many families, so many friends had experiences here that they'll never forget. They got to witness legendary performances. So many memories made here. People got to share laughs together, sing together, high-five each other. They got to scream, they got to cheer, they got to boo. Kids got to wear their favorite player's jersey and wave a trading card in the air hoping for an autograph.
How cool that you guys got a chance to come back and see this.
To me, these buildings still hold the echoes of all those great moments. And I'm glad I finally got to say I had my Alamodome experience.
Last look at the Alamodome, quite possibly forever. First and last. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once in a lifetime. Also, the Alamodome turns 30 this year. See you later, Alamodome. See you later. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Oh. They need to physically manhandle me out of here. Either way. The Alamodome. What? Alamodome. There it is. Alamodome. And we're on the other side. Go Warriors! Warriors! Yeah. So as a celebration, they're gonna have fireworks over by the Tower of the Americas over there. It's a goal on this channel before I die to check off every stadium, every arena, every sports venue in the country. Tonight I got to check one off I didn't even think I'd ever get to check off. My best friend growing up, his favorite player was David Robinson. I love David Robinson too, but that was his ultimate favorite player. So seeing David Robinson out there, letting us know we broke the attendance record, it made me a little emotional and nostalgic, and just sending love to Marcel, man. I love you, man. I wish you were here with me. Where you been? The game kind of got out of hand, so they gave me some playing time. You had 12 sales. Gotta stop one day. Sure, you didn't see me? I was right there. There it is. We came, we saw, we conquered the Alamodome. If you'd like to help support the channel, if you like what we do have a Patreon with a lot of bonus content, behind the scenes, uncut footage, stuff like that. I try to make it worthwhile, as little as $1 a month. It helps me out. We did it though, broke the attendance record. And I broke my personal record for rebounds. Just stop it. True. Hopefully more from Texas. I'm gonna be here for a little bit, trying to film as much as I can. Check the sports playlist if you like more stuff like this. Arco Arena just got torn down, but we did a whole walkthrough before it got torn down. Go check it out. That's it for the amazing Alamodome. Spurs 50th anniversary, once in a lifetime event, back home against your Golden State Warriors, defending world champs, and don't you forget it. Like, subscribe, share, do all the cool things that cool kids do. Something or other tour, or like. I love me a train, I'll tell you that much. That's all, folks. I need those animal crackers. Let's go, here they go, here they go. It's drifting, it's drifting. I forgot to say shout out to the people that came up to me and asked for a picture. That was really cool. They said they know my videos. They showed me. That kind of stuff really, really makes my day. So thank you. Right?